Today, we are celebrating the solemnity of Pentecost, also known as the birth of the church. Our first reading describes this church not as a building or structure, but a group of people, a community. On this event, this community of disciples received the Holy Spirit 50 days after Jesus' resurrection, transforming their lives forever. In this global pandemic, we all the more need the power of the Spirit to sustain us in our faith. How does the Spirit manifest God's self in these unprecedented times? We reflect on the readings. First, the Spirit transforms. Our first reading from the Acts of the Apostles narrates that in Pentecost, the Spirit, coming from the sky like a strong wind and appearing to them as tongues of fire, came to rest on the disciples. Then they began to speak in tongues as the Spirit enabled them to proclaim. The Spirit transformed the timid disciples into powerful proclaimers of God. Our responsorial psalm also speaks of this transformation. The Spirit renews the face of the earth. Second, the Spirit does not only transform, the Spirit also welcomes. Our second reading notes, for in one Spirit we were all baptized into one body, whether Jews or Greeks, slaves or free persons, and we were all given to drink of one Spirit. In Pentecost, we are under one family of God despite our diversity, regardless of our class, our race, or gender. In the Spirit, all are welcome. In the Spirit, all are included. Finally, the Holy Spirit does not only transform and welcome, the Spirit also calls us for a mission. In the Gospel, Jesus breathed the Spirit on the reluctant and fearful disciples to forgive sins. I believe that this mission is encompassing. This does not only talk about forgiveness of sins, but also what Jesus did in his lifetime. We remember Luke 4:18, when Jesus reads the scroll and he read, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he has anointed me to proclaim the good news to the poor, to proclaim freedom for prisoners and recovery of sight for the blind, to free the oppressed, and to proclaim the year of Lord's favor." In this pandemic, we hear different stories of adversities and hopes. A cancer survivor woman booked herself for a COVID-19 vaccine. She knew she needed this vaccine when she saw a stranger's Facebook post asking if anyone could help her secure a vaccine appointment. Knowing the difficulty of making an appointment, the woman gave her appointment to this stranger. The stranger was an elderly woman and needed a vaccine before she undergoes a critical medical procedure. Friends, let us then welcome the Spirit's movement in our lives and in the church. May the Spirit, the breath of God, transform, empower, and strengthen us as we reach out to people. Let us confidently call upon God, the Holy Spirit of life, to hear our prayers this day.
Our